The biggest lie that we were fed as NBA fans over the last couple of years is that the Philadelphia 76ers needed James Harden. They don't. They're just fine without him. They're 20-9, third in the Eastern Conference, and Tyrese Maxey is in the midst of a breakout season. They have unlimited length, unlimited athleticism, and they are really good on both ends of the floor. Number 2 in offensive rating, number 5 in defensive rating, all equals out to the number 1 net rating in the entire NBA. And Joel Embiid is putting up Wilt Chamberlain. Well, not quite Wilt Chamberlain numbers, but the closest thing we've seen to Wilt Chamberlain numbers in a long, long time. We're going to talk about that here in a little bit. But 35 a game, 11.7 rebounds, 6 assists. Like, he's breaking the box score. We're going to talk about his free throws here in a little bit. But the first player since Wilt to do something like this, it's literally Wilt Chamberlain, Joel Embiid, and Elgin Baylor. Those are the 3 players to ever put up 35 and 12 for half of a season. And then he's the only player since 1970 to do that. On 54% shooting too, by the way. He's also a defensive force, averaging 2 blocks a game. Now, is he really a free throw merchant? Because yes, he has the best whistle in the league. That's what people are kind of saying. Well, he gets 12 free throw attempts a game. He makes 11 of them. 10.6. So he's at about an 89% clip from the free throw line. And he's second in the league. He's not even first in the league. Giannis shoots half of a free throw more per game. So every 2 games he shoots 1 more free throw. But Embiid is a full free throw ahead of the next guy, which is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Nonetheless, he's putting up a historic stat line. We need to just appreciate greatness. Now, let's take a look at the breakout campaign. Tyrese Maxey, 26 points per game, 3.8 rebounds, and 6.7 assists a night after taking over the point guard duties from James Harden. Is he better than Harden? Well, he's averaging 5 more points, but about 5 less assists. So he's contributing about 5 less points per game than Harden did, but 46% shooting from the field, 39% from 3, and the kid is only 23 years old. I guess I shouldn't call him a kid, but he's still very young, much younger than like an Embiid. Embiid turns 30 next year. It's kind of crazy. But anyways, they have a very solid big 3. Now, with Tyrese Maxey, who is going to continue to get better at 23 years old. He is the young star. They have the MVP of the league, Joel Embiid, and they have Tobias Harris, who is a nice, healthy mixture of, he can score from all 3 levels. He's a very efficient scorer, typically 17 points per game, 6.1 rebounds, 3 assists. He's one of those guys I feel like you could put into the pro scorer category. That's tough. Straight bottom, get it out of the net over Scotty Barnes, who's a pretty good defender as well. Here he is again, just knocking it down. He's got a really, really smooth shooting stroke. 52% from the field, 38% from 3, 1 steal in 34 minutes a game. This was wild, but the release is extremely quick as well. Low-key Tobias Harris, he's getting paid a lot of money, but he's one of the more underrated players in the league. 17 points a game on 52% shooting from mainly jumpers. That's pretty impressive. If you're enjoying today's video at any point, make sure to hit the like button, leave me a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button, as it really helps out in the YouTube algorithm. As you can see here, a large majority of the people that watch these videos are not subscribed to the channel. So if that is you, go ahead and fix that. And now, with that being said, let's go ahead and continue on here. The Sixers have had a bit of a roller coaster ride for a season. They have been bumpy up and down. They started 8-1. Then they go to 4-6, and then they go to 8-2. So if this is a streaky team, that could be bad come playoff time. Now, they were missing some guys throughout all that. That's when the whole Kelly Oubre getting hit by a car thing happened, which was kind of bizarre. But good thing he's back. And like I said earlier in the video, the Sixers have unlimited wings. Nick Batum, who they bring over in the Harden trade. Rocco, same thing. Marcus Morris, same thing. 3 more wings that can play defense, that can shoot the 3 ball to add on to Kelly Oubre and Paul Reed. They've got like 5, 6, 7, 6, 8 dudes with really good length and athleticism that they can bring off their bench, and some of them start. The best one is probably Kelly Oubre, who I'm still mad that the Hornets let go. That lefty shooting stroke is just beautiful. 13.7 points a game, 4.3 rebounds, 1.2 steals on 48% shooting from the field, 38% from 3. I think he is probably the Eastern Conference version of Michael Porter Jr. With that 0.7 assists per game, pretty solid. Flamethrower that can come off the bench, can instantly change a game, but doesn't like passing. Now let's talk about the fifth starter because we talked about the other four. So let's not leave DeAnthony Melton out of this video like we did with, who was it? Kristaps. I left Kristaps out of the Celtics video. Like, what are we doing? Anyways, DeAnthony Melton on the year, 11.7 points, 4.3 rebounds, 3.7 assists. Efficiency is not great alongside of Tyrese Maxey, but, you know, he's there. He plays good defense. 6'2", so a bit undersized for the two-guard spot, but, you know, he makes do. And then you can't forget about these guys. Pat Bev, of course, Hall of Fame menace to society off the bench. You also got Mo Bamba coming off the bench, still knocking down threes. Furkan Korkmaz is still around, so, you know, maybe he can come in there and hit like 6 threes in one game. And then you have KJ Martin, another guy that came over in that Harden trade. Maybe just another guy that can come in and, you know, can help you out by scoring off the bench. Taking a look at the schedule here, or the standings, Philadelphia, you know, safely up there in third, full 2 games ahead of the Magic, who they are currently playing. We'll get into that more in a second here. The Heat there just beat them on Christmas Day. Of course, they haven't had Embiid here lately, but, you know, they find themselves only 3 games out of first place, almost 30 games into the year. So, obviously, not a bad place to be if you are the Philadelphia 76ers. And they have a pretty favorable schedule coming up. As I mentioned, they are currently playing the Magic. It is halftime. It's a pretty close game. I just need that Tobias Harris over to hit, so my parlay will hit. But anyways, then they play Houston. It's a bit of a road trip at Houston and then at Chicago. Nonetheless, they should beat Chicago twice. Probably should beat Houston. Tough one against New York, but then they get Utah and Atlanta, 2 more sub-500 teams. So you're looking at 4 of your next 6 being against a sub-500 team, with 3 of those being at home. So, like we said, relatively favorable schedule on the come-up for this Sixers team. But y'all let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. I'm pretty high on this team. I think they have a nice big 3 going forward. I love their length. I mean, at this point in the league, what you need really is a point guard that can facilitate. Tyrese Maxey, he averages close to 7 assists per game, but he's also a really good scorer. A closer, Tyrese Maxey or Joel Embiid, both can close games. Even Tobias Harris can. You need, you know, a solid and bona fide 1, 2, and 3 options. And then after that, so you got your point guard, you got your center, and then you just need a bunch of wings. And I think that's the formula to success in the current NBA. And the Philadelphia 76ers are going with that blueprint perfectly. But y'all let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I'm excited to see this Philly team in the playoffs. We'll see if Embiid can finally take his squad to the chip. I don't really think anybody is favoring them coming out of the East, so we'll see. But with that being said, thanks so much for watching. Hit the like button and hit that subscribe button.